Welcome back to the GloryHunter RTG project. Malaga is well underway. We start today with a game against one of the bigger sides in the league, one of the more successful sides in Europe from La Liga, to be fair, with the amount of Europa Leagues that Sevilla have won over the past decade or so. Thank you, Unai Emery. Well, muchas gracias, Unai Emery, for all of the Sevilla fans. We're only 5 points off them, actually. We're sat in 14th in the league at the moment. Thanks to 3 straight defeats in the last episode, though, we are only 4 points above the relegation zone. And whilst at times this season we felt like we're not worried about relegation at all, like when we beat Levante and we draw with Celta Vigo and we beat Betis, then you go and lose 3 straight games and you're dragged right back into the mix. We lost 3 of 4 games in the month of September as well. So anytime we do pick up maximum points with a win is so important for us this first season, because we can't afford to get dragged into a relegation fight. We want to make sure that the club is progressing, the players are growing, and they're putting in good performances to give them the best potential growth. They're not going to grow as well if they're getting lower match ratings. Sevilla, Mallorca and Osasuna today before a winter break. And then, January transfer window tomorrow. We're at January already here in La Liga with no cup football so far. Copa del Rey, not a thing yet. We are going to be at January already after just, what, this is episode 6 maybe? Episode 7 is going to be January already. So, 3 games that we absolutely could get points from. Mallorca are right with us. They're in 12th. Sevilla 11th. They're both on 21 points. And then Osasuna are in the relegation zone. So there are absolutely strong results to be had today. And we're at home against Sevilla as well. We're still missing Gomez, unfortunately. So he's continually injured, probably until about the end of January. Certainly not expecting him back until post-transfer window. But we can very much count on Corridor and certainly Roberto. I'm actually intrigued into selling Marchetti. We gave him a go in the past episode. I'm just not clicking with him. That 1-star weak foot isn't working, and he's not as good as 76 rated now and growing Kevin. So I can't sell him in January, Marchetti, but I will look to sell him in the summer, and that might help fund further improvements to the rest of the side. So that I'm looking forward to. We have found some wonder kids as well in the youth academy. £2.4 million was the valuation for Aitor Navas. He's only 5 foot... Oh, God, I'm kicking bottles all over the place. He's only 5'10", but the physicals are already well established. 88 jumping as well, so he certainly could play as a centre-back, but because his ball control and his dribbling are already ahead of the majority of the rest of the technical stats, he's got good long shots as well. His passing is just as good as his slide tackling, and stand tackle stands out as well. We're retraining him as a CDM, and he could be an absolute belter for us in a season's time and could be a good squad player and save us money not needing to replace one of the 2 aging CDMs we currently have in the starting lineup. We also found Ruben Fuentes. He came in at £1.1 million. Physically not as developed yet, but technically short pass heading accuracy and then his tackling stand out. We're retraining him as a right back rather than a right wing back because that will probably better suit his stats. And we'll wait and see how they grow. Without any further ado, though, let's jump in and go and play our first game of the day. You'll notice Pantea is up to 77 now. Brilliant growth from the new Romanian fullback. Really hoping that he can develop quite well. He already has developed quite well. Right, Sevilla at home, followed by Mallorca, and then Osasuna. And wins and points on the board today. Drop the video a like if you're enjoying the save so far. I really appreciate all the support. It really genuinely does help the channel and push the content to new people and keep views higher, which helps me do this as a career for longer. So please do show your support for the content. Let's jump in though, and let's go and play Sevilla. This Sevilla side are very hit and miss. There are some really good players in here, and then some holes in their squad depth. And that's probably why they sit where they do in the league. Nick Pope in goal, 83 Dodo at right back, 85 Varane, alongside an 80 Vidal and a 78 Duarte. 82 Nicolas Dorsch holding, but a 75 Dragovic and 75 Galbraith in the 2 centre mid spots. 86 Mateus Teta on the right, 85 Armando Broja through the middle, and 77 Olivier Deman on the left. There are gaps in this side, but the players that are of quality are of serious quality. So we are going to be hard pressed to get a victory here today. But, I mean, a point would absolutely be a result we'd be very happy with. And given the balance of where Sevilla's team is and where their season is, you wouldn't say we don't deserve the chance or stand a chance of getting a point from the lineups of the two teams. We're a young team that's growing. They're a team that's aging but still has some quality. Hopefully, it's the young guns that can pull off the result. We have conceded, I believe, more goals than anybody else in the league so far this season, though, which isn't great, but offers certain areas where you can say, right, well, we know where we need to improve and we can gauge how we're improving because we know we've got the worst defensive rate, and if any point we have significantly not the worst defensive rate, then we have gotten better. But we're not there yet. 1-0 Sevilla. Well intercepted, Amy. He's been bloody hit and miss as well. Speaking of Sevilla's team being hit and miss, that centre-back, Amy, has been either amazing or making the most horrendous mistakes that are costing me goals. I'm going to stick with him, though. And you hope that as he grows, those mistakes will cut themselves out. As he gets more first-team experience, as his stats go up, he'll become more and more solid and more reliable as time goes on. We've seen that with a number of players in real life, and I'm going to allow him the luxury of the time needed to improve. At least that's my current plan. See there, again, he's rock solid in the majority of circumstances, but he does cost me goals. Reminds me of, not perhaps the Gabriel at Arsenal of this season, but Gabriel at Arsenal of the past 2 or 3 seasons, where absolutely there's the quality there, but there's a mistake in him. And actually short to Shoretire. Little ball around the corner. A little ball forward. I haven't had that final product. Ah! Frustrating game in that regard. There's not been many goal-scoring chances because I've had the ball built and then they've got a tackle in, and they've had the ball built and then I've got a tackle in. That's probably a foul. I've just shoved him in the back there. Your man's fallen over. Go on, Roberto. Oh, Vidal does well. Everything but the final ball. Everything but the final ball. It's so frustrating and sad. Dragovic out wide to Dodo. Oh, it's a lovely touch. And Teta waiting for the pullback. There it is. Baran in the way. Oh, delayed clearance, but there was a clearance, and that's all we're worried about. Roberto, get this out to Shoretire. I'm going to need support, though. So Roberto is here again. We'll use the support deeper to then go further up the pitch. Shoretire takes that in his stride brilliantly and will cross it, looking for Corridor in the middle. It might fall for Kevin. It has. Kevin can't find a teammate. That's fallen for Ramon. He can't get to the loose ball either. It's so frustrating in the final third for Malaga in this one. Oh, he's had enough. He's just gone on a bursting run there, Vidal. He's been very good there. I'm not sure if it's a regen of someone or if he's just a generated player through their youth system. Ah, but their centre-back, Vidal, the 80-rated youth player, has been spectacular for them at the back. And Jesus Corona will finish the game off at 2-0. There's been minimal chances, but in the 9th and 89th, they bookcase each end of the game with a goal. Sevilla had a lot of possession throughout the course of... Ah, he's offside, isn't he? Lots of possession throughout the course of the middle part of the game. But every time I got to the final third, there wasn't a shot forthcoming. I couldn't find a way past their defence. 1 shot all game for me compared to their 6, and that shows you exactly the nature of that fixture. Of the 3 today, though, if we were to lose any of them, you'd have said that would be the one. Now, Mallorca and Osasuna will have, you'd like to think, comparable teams to our own, and we would stand a chance of getting results in both of those games. Let's find out. Every team that you would expect not to have a great team has a really solid team. Mallorca's squad is all 80 plus. Lorenzo Montipo in goal. They've got 5 at the back as well. Cartensen, Bukema, Bella Kotchap, Valiente and Gonzalo Esteves. In midfield, Kral, Coisance and Zukovsky. And up top, 83 rated Gabin Fournier and 83 rated Basile Jean. Both French, I believe, both 83 rated, and both going to be a pain in my backside. Our highest rated player is 80, then it's Roberto at 79, and then we're down into 75, 6 and 7s. So the fact that perhaps we are where we are in the league, 14th, is about where we should be. And the fact that we're trailing sides like Mallorca, you'd have said on size of club, on where the save starts, we'd like to be competitive with them. But as they've progressed as a club in this save, and evidently Malaga haven't yet, there is a bit of a, not necessarily a gulf, but there's less competition, less obvious evenness between the two sides. Not quite as level pegging and equally matched as you might like. So away from home against Mallorca here with a 5-back, I might be up for another defeat here. Gonzalo Estevez around the corner. Cross could come in. Hasn't yet. Zurkowski to Fournier. Thank you. Tap out. But then, it's just too many defenders back there. We are going to be relegation threatened this season, I think. Kevin, nice turn. Looking for the run. Corridor onside. And Roberto, 1-0 Malaga. We have been able to find a way past that back 5. That was a really nice goal. I thought Corridor was offside when I played the ball through. I will be completely honest. But you play to the whistle. Oh, it's so close. Still, from that first replay, looked like he was offside as well. It must have been the tightest of tight. But Roberto's 7th goal in 16 games in La Liga sees us in front here at the Visit Mallorca Estadi, a stadium that used to be our home ground. Not anymore. It's a battleground. A battle that we're winning. Play it calm, play it slow, play the right passes, like we did in that move that led to the goal, and we might find ourselves getting a second. I do prefer the gameplay in general, or like the style of play you're forced to play when you're with a team that don't have players that have 85 plus pace in every position, because it plays more like football than it does FIFA, and I much prefer that. When we do the youth only Road to Glory, I am going to be looking to test out a number of different slider settings to slow the gameplay down and have it play, well, hopefully substantially more realistically, which should make it perhaps not quite as exciting to watch with, you know, fast-flowing counterattacks, but it certainly should be more intriguing to watch and make for a more varied and diverse watch with the different styles of different teams. So hopefully looking forward to that. But I'm really enjoying this at Malaga right now. We're obviously not doing that well in the league with our results, but I'm enjoying some of the football that we're playing. And when we do score goals like we did in that first half, it's so rewarding as well. Zurkowski, nicely picked off by Benedek. And Jean sticks a toe in, and he's won it back again. Fournier from distance. Well, that's where the extra quality comes in. You can do all the defending you like, but if they're just going to bang it from 25 plus yards, there's not really much you can do about it, is there? It's a spectacular goal that sees us, unfortunately, pegged back. But if you're going to concede, might as well be a worldie like that. I'd much rather concede 3 goals like that in a game than 1 goal that feels BS because of some issue with the gameplay or a dodgy touch or a misplaced pass. Croissants. Across to Fournier. Cartensen. Fournier's there again in the middle, as is Jean, as is, well, quite a few now. Pantea's in the way, but it's still going to fall for them. Whoa! They very nearly did the back-to-back. That really wasn't far away. Thankfully, it flew past the post and didn't nestle in that corner. But we very nearly were from 1-0 up to 2-1 down in the blink of an eye there. Kevin, and the option there is Roberto. Knock that back to Pantea, and we'll look to build again. Slow, measured, methodical play that might lead to a good goal-scoring opportunity if it weren't for an excellent block from Bella Kocha. Really good move. Excellent defending to go with it. Roberto. Well, go on then. Let's try... Let's try a worldie of our own, I was about to say. That was awful. So was the first touch from the defender there. So was that pass from Benedek. Tried to play it to the wrong striker. Here's Jean. Through. Oh, Fournier's left foot is brilliant. First time This little wizard. With Hogwarts Legacy not too far away, I wonder if his come from the Harry Potter universe, because that left foot is an absolute wand. He's only little. He doesn't need much space to really punish you. Gabin Fournier may well be a striker that pops up on our radar in the not too distant future. I think we have looked at him previously in the save, but unfortunately he's not really within our reach at present. Goals like that are just excellently tucked away. What can you do about goals that are finished that well? Really not much at all. And when we say we think we might well be relegation threatened despite the occasional positive result for us, being 1-0 up here and pegged back to 2-1 down is exactly why I have that opinion. Corridor, turned and blocked. One back though, Roberto looking for Shoretire, who's in behind the Arrows. Nangle! The Arrows Nangle. Yep. The Arrows Nangle. Oh, Shoretire might have been able to cut that out. Please add on like 4 minutes. He's added 2. Fournier into the box. Those 2 minutes are gone though, aren't they? And with a Mallorca corner. We're going to lose this one away from home. We've fought brilliantly, played really well, but 2 moments of sheer brilliance from their higher rated front man makes the difference. Both goals, 2 of the best we've conceded all season. Thanks to that tiny little Frenchman. Gabin Fournier finishes us off with 4 shots for them and 5 for me. We were very much in that game and would absolutely have been good value for a point, but we don't get it. We were 14th. Has our league position changed? We're still 14th, but we've played an extra game actually. The number of others playing on that Sunday. We could, if everyone below us wins, actually be only a point above the relegation zone, which is not ideal. Osasuna, we're down to 15th. And thankfully, Tenerife have lost again. So it's still 4 points, but we're getting ever closer to going down the bottom. We cannot afford to lose to Osasuna next. I am slowly coming to the conclusion that almost everybody has a better team than us. Stanislav Kritsiuk is Osasuna's worst player at 76 rated. Again, the rest are, I believe, all 80 plus. And they're in the relegation zone with only 11 points so far this season. Alex Centelles, Christopher Ayer, Maximilian Verber and Kleber Fernandez, the young left back that we did have on our radar. He's the Alexandra regen, I believe. Durado in midfield alongside Moncayola. Yanis Simignani on the right with Rodrigo Gomez on the left. Javi Martinez at cam and Rodrigo Muniz up top. They've not got much strength in depth, but a couple of 79 rated. They've got a couple of players on the bench that are better than almost anybody I have in my team. Olmo at left back and Pantea at right back for this one, and Gennaro in at CDM are the only changes that I've made. Now, Osasuna, on paper here, are good enough to beat us. And to go 6 straight defeats in the league would very much be unacceptable, really. Questionably, in real life, if we went 6 straight defeats with the nature of these fixtures, certainly you'd say that my job would probably be in question if it were Football Manager. But at the minute, the board are still absolutely loving us because we're not in the relegation zone. So those early points that we picked up still, those 2 wins in the first 2 games, are the difference between us and current relegation candidates, or even relegation favourites, let alone candidates. We need to get back to that sort of form, to picking up 4 points from a round of 3 games. 4 points from every 9, and I think we'd probably stay up. I wouldn't put it past us getting relegated, though, with the way things are going so far. Oh, Keeps, come on, mate. It's right bloody next to you, pal. 1-0 Osasuna. Nah. We might get to the point where it doesn't matter how much good football we play. If we're not getting the results, we might have to change things up. But like I say, I am very much enjoying this formation at the minute. Corridor just doesn't quite have the pace or strength to hold off the defender there. What a leap by Andrés Caro. And Soratire's around the corner into the middle. And again, it's Christopher Ayer that makes the difference in their central defensive line. Well, you know who's their best defender, don't you? It's rather evident so far. This is really good. It's excellent play. The extra man is there, but I can't not try and go for the ball there. I have to try something. They just so happen to have the extra man, and Javi Martinez scored his first goal of the season earlier on, and now he scored his second goal of the season there. Osasuna are going to close in on us, and we are staring down the barrel of a relegation zone spot at the moment. We are playing good football, but not scoring goals. I don't know whether it's because we're missing Albert Costa, or whether we're just coming up against sides that are better than us every week at the moment. But something is not working for us. I'm not too sure what it is. Corredor. Oh, Roberto just needs to spin there and I'm in. Intercept that well in, Gennaro. Oh, and that doesn't quite make it through either. That's the difference there. If I spin with Roberto, I'm in. If the ball just makes it past the defender with Corredor, I'm in. But I'm not getting that final ball to have the obvious clear-cut chance to score the goal. Victor Olmo. Gennaro. Through the gap to Corredor. Kevin. Corredor again. Ramon. Roberto. Smashed. Just the start to the second half we needed. Roberto is our saviour at the moment. He's the only man, really, that is scoring goals remotely consistently. It's great movement from him as well. And the finish, superb. I did try and aim that across goal with the laced effort. He's just powered it at the near post and in it goes. Javi Martinez picked up 2. I'd love it if Roberto got a second as well. Picked off by Kevin. Ramon. Corredor. Right through the gap. Soratire's there. He's in the box. Corner. 6 minutes to go. You can hear the roar from the La Rosaleda crowd. They believe that we can find the equaliser. What happened with my guy there? Marchetti will knock that down. Danny Lorenzo's coming off the bench with Marchetti here. Soratire finds Danny Lorenzo. Come on, Roberto. Find the space, please, sunshine, please. Where's that support? Soratire, across goal we go. What a block from Verba! The roar again from the home crowd. Up we go. Marchetti straight at the keeper. Kritsiuk with the save. We'll try again. Please. Please. Off the bar. How lucky do Osasuna want to get? How unlucky can we get? That's going to be defeat in 6 straight La Liga games. That last gasp equaliser could have given us the impetus to push on in the second half of the season. That morale boost. We're playing some really good football. We're just not scoring goals. Danny Lorenzo's up to 77 now in midfield. He's upset with the lack of playtime. He's still in the squad, Christian. Although probably not for long. Going to look to sell you in the summer. Where are we in the league now? We're still 15th. But the gap to the bottom is now just 3 points. With Osasuna pulling themselves out of the relegation zone with that victory against us, the gap to the bottom 3 is 3 points. Big month of January coming up around the corner. Vallecano, Real Madrid, Espanyol and Tenerife. Vallecano and Tenerife must win games. And with it being the transfer window as well, we're going to look to try and improve the team. Whether that be with free transfers or with loans or with paid signings, I'm not sure yet. But we do need to improve and we will look to do so. I'm not worried about getting relegated. But it is certainly something we need to be not prepared for. But we can't fool ourselves into thinking that it's not a big risk. Big episode coming tomorrow. Don't miss it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And hit that notification bell and you won't. Drop this video a like and I'll see you tomorrow.